Thank you for joining us today for lunch, and as we move into a lively discussion on the Internet of Things. My name is David Ellis. I'm the Chief Content Officer of CQ Roll Call.
The Internet of Things is not just about things. It is a combination of people, things, processes, and data. And what we are doing is combining all of these to have new types of communication and new kinds of interaction. Sometimes it's from things to things, sometimes it's from people to things, sometimes it's people to things to people. But it is about, in many ways, automating things and having it happen in the network that wasn't happening before.
How many of your colleagues understand how significant this is? This is a huge part of the economy. It's hugely significant. What's the awareness level?
I think we're at the definitely the very foundational level right now. Technology is not necessarily something that a lot of members of Congress have had a lot of experience with and know well. And so really education is critically important, and that's why Congressman Issa and I started up the Internet of Things Caucus. One of the things we heard when we started up the caucus and asked if people wanted to join is people said, what's the IOT caucus about?
And how many people have joined you?
We've actually had, our caucus is growing, but we've also had a lot of folks come to the events we put together to learn about issues. Most recently, we've been talking about smart cities, and I'm even working on legislation there so that we have resources to help bring together the learnings on smart cities. Because the other area that's critically important when we talk about all the opportunities with the Internet of Things is really having, not everyone wants to be the beta tester. They don't want to be the person on the cutting edge. They want to know what's working and not working and what scenarios you might want to deploy something in. And having that learning brought together so we can give it to a mayor who might be looking at something they do in their city, that's critically important, and that's something we collectively have to do.
I'm interested that you acknowledge it's sort of baby steps for lawmakers, because Darrell Issa and yourself are very different people ideologically, but you have similar backgrounds in that you were entrepreneurs, you had significant careers before you got into legislation. So that's, I presume, one of the reasons you were driven together.
Yes, and I don't think these are partisan issues. This really is about people understanding the issues and being able to be thoughtful about them. Sometimes when legislation doesn't move, it's because people aren't quite sure how to move forward and kind of want to wait.
Right.
And I think, unfortunately, policy is something we're very behind on with respect to technology. So we also need to catch up and also leap ahead, and at the same time, not get in the way of innovation.
I'm going to ask a question that may bring us into a slightly partisan mode, because the government is a big business and they purchase a lot of things. So, Mr. Secretary, maybe you're the safest person to ask this question. That's one way the government can nudge, by saying, we'll buy this technology, but X, Y, and Z has to happen, right?
The government has always done it that way. We have a number of fleets in government. I actually think that figuring out a way where the public and private sectors can really work through this together is critical. Government is behind the ball in developing the policy, but I don't think that that's something that's unreasonable or a surprise in this instance. Now, it will hurry to catch up, and one thing that the president has done is to really make an appeal to leaders and businesses. Let's just use Silicon Valley as an example to say, come to Washington, we need your help. There is an openness about being collaborative and being cooperative that can help you speed the policy process and not have government trying to dictate from a vantage point with limited knowledge, but also not allowing the private sector, to just do anything at will, because you do have certain public interest considerations, privacy interests in particular, in the balance.
Right. Then we should point out that it was the Obama administration that had the first chief technology officer.
Exactly.
Which is obviously a title that will remain probably
No doubt about it.